Hey everyone. So I know that I've talked about consensus before as a good information finding tool as you're putting together research papers or things like that. I wanted to revisit it because they've had a lot of really cool updates lately, and they're actually doing free premium for, I think it's 3 months for students right now. So that's a really good deal. You just got to verify your school email address. So consensus, if you didn't watch the last video, is basically an AI app that can pull a collection of research from multiple different databases, even if it doesn't have access to the full text article. So, for example, earlier I had asked it, and it'll save everything over here, just stuff that I'm working on for some of my classes right now. I had asked it, is reinforcement more effective than punishment? So what it'll do is it'll show you, let me collapse this, it'll show you this little meter for how the answers of research breaks down. So 67% say yes, 0% say possibly, 17% had mixed results, and 17% say no. And then you can expand it, and it'll give you information about like how many citations there were, the average date of this research, and it'll give you a little AI summary of what the results found. It has some really helpful little charts and things of that nature. And it gives you the individual citations that you can look at for different elements of its findings. So if you're writing a research paper, this is really, really helpful. And it'll give you some follow-up questions that you can ask it as well. Now, for each of these, you can go through and you can look at the individual article for more information. So you can click on any of these. My internet's running slow. And what you can do is you can try to get a full text and basically see if your organization has it. So when you click on it, I don't know if I just messed things up here, but when you click on it, what it's going to do is take it to your organization's login page. And if your library subscribes to it, you'll be able to get the full text article. And if you can input the full text article, that's going to open up some really cool tools for being able to ask the PDF some questions. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that because this is just a really awesome tool that it has. So that's one option, to just give you some general beginner information about, would this be an interesting topic to write a paper on? Is there enough stuff out there for this? Things of that nature. And like I said, it'll save everything here on your sidebar so you can find it later. But another thing you can do is you can tell it to draft you an outline. So what this is going to look like, if I start from the beginning here, if I go home, and it gives you prompts, right? So if I say I want you to make an outline, it'll tell you draft an outline as your prompt for what you need to say. But so I said, draft an outline about, it's going slow, draft an outline about the influence of culture on personality. And so what it'll do is it'll give you some suggested talking points. If this is what you're wanting to write your paper about or do your presentation about, here's some key categories and findings within this research that would make a logical paper. And again, it's going to give you the citations for where it's pulling these things from your outline to help you put together an outline. And you can also put in filters. So you can say, maybe your professor is giving you a limitation that it needed to be from an article published within the past 5 years, for example. And you can also limit the methodology. So like if you're working on a paper that's going to be a meta-analysis or a systematic review, that you only want certain types of research methods, you can narrow it down that way. You can narrow down your sample size. Like there's so many things it can do to filter out what research it's going to show you. But just to give you an idea, like if I say I only wanted to do the past 5 years, and I can say apply and resend, and what it's going to do is it's going to remake my outline based solely on things that match that criteria of it has to be within the last 5 years. So it's going to repopulate it with studies that are more recent to match that criteria. And then if there was maybe any points on my outline that were only based on older research, it'll remove those for me. So again, very, very helpful paper planning tool. If you're an outliner, I am absolutely an outliner. And you will still have access to all of your same tools to get into that article, see the study snapshot, check and see if any of your institutions offer a full text version once you've linked that. There was one other intro thing that I wanted to show you how to do, because I'm planning on doing a lot of consensus videos because I actually just upgraded to the premium. I think it's totally worth it. Again, if you're a student, you get it free for 3 months. If you are not a student, I think the price is like $100 for 3 years, which is not bad for all the headaches that it saves you. Oh, there is a citation manager. So it'll export the article that you're looking at directly in whatever format you need. So if you're somebody who gets really irritated when you're trying to properly format your citations, this is an awesome tool. Obviously, you want to check it. This is actually having some capitalization errors with its APA style. So always double check it, but it gives you a really great start. I forgot the other feature I was wanting to show y'all, and I'm sure I'll remember it right after I finish this video. But point being, very powerful tool. Lots and lots of utility, no matter what field you're in. This is not just for psychology. This can be used in a lot of different fields. So that's consensus in a nutshell. I'll do some more in-depth videos on its individual features, but if you're in my class, I highly recommend using this as a tool. Do the free student version, because it will actually crawl through and pull your information directly from research studies instead of making things up, which we know ChatGPT does. I did a video about that before. So there's that. If you are using this and have questions about any of the utility or functionality, feel free to send me an email and I'll see if I can help you out with that.